Okay guys, good evening and welcome to the Eldar Sim Racing YouTube channel. That is correct, I am your host for this evening as per usual on a Friday evening, and yes, it is the one and only Hoppers in the commentary box. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, or potentially morning might have not been broken yet in most places, but you know, welcome to the stream. You know guys, this is rounds 7, 8 and 9 of the BTCC Blueprints Porsche Cayman Supercup, and we are here at the Lago GP circuit, and it's going to be pretty much interesting and probably one of the most exciting rounds of the season so far, but we can see potentially what will be going on. Hopefully you can hear me and you can understand what I am going to say, just as a bit of a joke, but you know, hopefully you can understand and hear me correctly through the microphone. Any issues guys, just drop me a message, obviously via the stream, and we will get it sorted out for you guys. So yes, the Porsche Supercup, this is the obviously, as I say, the BTCC Blueprints, probably sponsored by the BTCC Blueprints, should I say. And we are here at Lago on the GP circuit, the Lake Maggiore, or I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's in Italy, and we have got potentially some exciting 3 races this evening, plus a 10-minute qualifying at 7:45 UK time. And yes, excuse me as my voice goes very slowly, but yes, hopefully it should be a good night of racing and potentially going to be pretty much interesting. I can't believe what will happen within this series. Obviously I'm going to have the points and I'm potentially going to go through them in a moment, but first of all, just like to say thank you to each and everyone that is so far providing some great entertainment. I lost my voice at the end of last week during the stream. I think it's just because the action packed, it was action packed racing, but this evening it's going to be pretty much an unknown circuit for some of these guys, and potentially going to be pushing on for potentially a very amazing race. I'll just check what is going to happen. Jamie Baxter, as my phone just likes to repeat what I just said, Jay Baxter has said turn 1 equals carnage, laughing out loud. Dude, we never know mate, but it should be fantastic here. I believe back in the day, the last time I actually commentated here at Lago was in the Mini 7s. That was when we had the likes of Jerry Dobbin and James Stephen and of course Ben Smith go up into potentially the British Touring Cars. So they're now up in British Touring Cars as Lee Fitzey heads into that sort of an off-camber turn towards the second sector, well, towards the third sector, should I say. But yes, I'll go through the points and then we'll go through who's here and who isn't. So first place is none other than Christian Swire, aka Scrap Drifter. He's just going through Mobile as we speak. He's on 104 points, followed by Lee Fitzey's arch nemesis in this series. He's on, Lee Fitzey's on 94, so he's 10 points behind Christian at the moment. There you have Timmy Gill, who I believe he was here. Yes, he is. Just gone straight past him. He's on 78. Timmy had a good showing in the NSX during the week at Catalunya. Took out, I believe he took out 2 race wins in that championship meeting. There you have Panos Forganis. Basically he's on 44, the Greek driver in the beautiful blue and yellow machine. He's on 74, so he's 30 points behind at the moment. He's just going through what is that off camber. Then you have Brian Ross, aka Rossi Burnley Football Club. We're not going to hold that against him. Yes, okay. I had to throw that in there. But he's on 66. Then you've got Dean Atkinson, who won at Catalonia in the NSX on 64. So Brian Ross is on 66 points. Then you have Ismail Nemri. Finally, pronounce your surname correctly in the black and orange, sort of black and matte orange car. He's on 57 after a bit of a disaster at Blue Moon last time out. Then you have Jay Baxter on 50. He will be hopefully coming to the grid this evening. He's in the blue and silver Porsche Cayman. You can't miss it. It's got a gingerbread man on the front, fair play. Then you have Adam Morgan. No, it's not British touring car driver Adam Morgan. It is the Welsh Wizard of Adam Morgan on 49. Then you have Andrew Ostler, aka Aussie Rooster, on 37. Then you have Richard Barton on 33. Max Robertson, I believe Max may be missing. He's got issues at the moment. I think it's to do with the internet. His house is on 24. Then you have Mark Palmer, and then obviously Dan Cope, who made his debut. I think he made his debut last time out at Blue Moon, but he's had a bit of potentially a bit of dramas with some of the field, but hopefully he will pick up. Him and Mark Palmer are both tied on 17 points at the moment. But as I say, guys, it is going to be very interesting. Yes, Jay, yes you did. I do apologise, mate, you did get third in race 3. Was it race 3 in the minis? Did we do race 3 races in the minis? I can't remember, but you got obviously the podium for in the minis. Yes, you've got third place, that is correct. Dean Atkinson, evening mates, hope to see you in the lobby shortly, my friend. But yes, it is going to be very action packed, and it is going to be potentially, hopefully, very exciting to see what happens this evening. And potentially, I'm hoping I don't lose my voice too much. You know, I want to leave my voice intact, as I say, but you know, it is going to be yes, it should be okay. Potentially going to have a few moments within obviously qualifying and potentially the race itself. Would go on board with Christian Swire, championship leader, as he heads up towards there's no, it's a fictional track, so you know, we're going to call the names of the circuit. So he's going through Mobile at the moment, purely because of the Mobile advertising. And then we go up a bit of a rise into what I'm going to call the double neck, because it's kind of a double neck chicane here, and then obviously scooping up under the Liquid Moly bridge, and then obviously into Liquid Moly itself, and then potentially down Alpine Stars Straight, as we're going to call it. And then we're going to call this, I've heard people call this NASCAR, but we're going to call it Total NASCAR due to the total advertising on the side of the road. But it's going to be very interesting. So he's coming up to GoPro corner, which is kind of a left and a right, but it potentially could be very interesting to see what happens going through Toyo tyres for this evening. But Ismail, hello mates, how are you doing? And you know, best luck to everyone that's entering this evening. Also, if you'd like to check out the Eldar Sim YouTube channel, we have basically the host with the most, and that is none other than Malcolm Argyle, doing the British Touring Car commentary. I believe they're at Alsace Village this evening. It is going to be potentially very interesting for the British Touring Cars. So you got the host with the most, Michael Margot, in the comment box for the British Touring Cars, and you have us hoppers doing commentary for the BTCC Blueprints Porsche Caymans. Oh yes, and of course leave a like on the YouTube channel and also subscribe as well, because it will help us out massively. We've got quite a lot of likes and subscribes already, but it would be nice to see exactly what happens as Christian gets it a bit crossed up going out of the first bend. I hope I haven't got put the commentators mockers, should I say. Yeah, and yeah, obviously subscribe as well. It'd be a massive help. But as I say, so you got us doing the commentary for the BTCC Blueprints Porsche Cayman Super Cup, which I've been doing for some time now, and you've got Dan Baldwin potentially doing the not the BTCC Blueprints, getting way ahead of myself, the Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs. That is correct, we do sponsor a series within Eldar Racing for the MX-5s. I believe they're at Sardinia this evening, and you've got obviously Phil Wilson hosting the lobby, but Darren Baldwin, aka ESR Idol 4, is doing the commentary. So the MX-5s are on the Eldar Racing YouTube channel number 2. So if you'd like to see that, you get the best of 3 worlds this evening. You've got the BTCC, as I say, and you've got the Porsche Cayman Super Cup, and also you've got the Mazda MX-5s that Darren Baldwin perfectly does a fantastic job of commentating on there. So hopefully it should be a good night of racing, and you know, whatever happens this evening, you know, I'm sure everyone will enjoy it. It's going to be very interesting here at Lago, to tell you the truth, for the Porsche Cayman Super Cup. It's the first time we've run this layout, and it's potentially going to be hopefully very much interesting. We've got, as I say, 10 minutes of qualifying at 7:45. It is going to be potentially going to be very interesting to see what they do within the 10-minute qualifying. Obviously, you know, there's margin, potentially margin for errors here. There's potentially margin for quite a few overtakes, and potentially red hot action, should I say. You know, it's going to be one of them. And also 3 amazing 7-lap races this evening. Obviously it's going to be pretty much one of them, but you never know. It could be very interesting. It could go hopefully Christian's way, it could be going someone else's way. But as you know, Christian made a bit of a mistake. He's sparking his way through Total NASCAR at the moment. I believe he's just heading up to GoPro, is he? Yes, he is. So he's just going through GoPro in a moment. So we'll just go back on board with him. Just going through Toyo tyres now as we speak. So this is going to be very interesting to see what happens. Here he goes through Toyo tyres, so it's double right-hander. Then we cut into potentially the final 2 turns of the lap. So he's going down into, I believe he's going down into the start-finish line. I believe he's just easing it off. He's going to jump into pit lane, fair enough. He's probably just run his tyres. But it's going to be potentially very interesting, and you know, I'm hopefully we do have a top of a range night, as I say. So I'm just going to grab a quick drink, and then we'll get into potentially ready for qualifying, which starts in around 10 minutes time. So I'll see you guys in a moment. Sorry about that, guys. I was just having a bit of a moment. As my other half likes to sneeze down the headset. I do apologise. But yes, it should be a good night. It is potentially, as I say, round 7, 8 and 9 of the championship here at Lago. It is looking likely I will go through the calendar. Next time we do have Tokyo South Outer Loop, which will be very interesting. Then we go to Autopolis, so we do have 2 Japan rounds back to back. They will be on potentially the GP circuit at Autopolis. Then we go to the home of potentially British Touring Car finale at Bronze Hatch GP. That will be the 3rd to last round. Then we go to Fuji Shore for the penultimate round. Then we head to Germany for the last round. So we go to the Porsche Caymans. Go to the Porsche Cayman, home of the Porsche Cayman at the Nürburgring GP circuit, which I am looking forward to because it is going to be pretty much very interesting to see what happens within the remaining rounds. Obviously, we had Catalonia, and of course Blue Moon. I believe Blue Moon and Catalonia were providing great entertainment, but it is going to look like there is going to be a lot. But Max Robertson actually has made it to the grid, so that's quite an impressive start for this evening. Potentially qualifying, as I say, it's going to be 10 minutes qualifying, which will determine the grid, providing we have no one have any issues. Otherwise then it will have to be set the grid manually, which technically I don't mind doing, it's okay. But then we have race 2, it's rolling start and full grid reverse, so whoever finishes at the moment 10th place, because we've got 10 cars, say for example Max Robertson, even though he does very well, as he says, good evening to me. Good evening, mate, if you're watching the stream, thank you, hope you're okay, mate. Nice to see you on here, mate. Yeah, I'll reply to him, so I'm not ignoring. So yeah, we do have obviously reverse grid of race 1, so it'll be a full grid reverse, and it will be a rolling start. Then race 3 will be the finishing positions of race 2, but it will be a standing start. All cars are on the super softs, which potentially is quite good because they do have a tyre wear of 1%, and also I believe the fuel is also at 1% itself. So there is quite a lot of potential stuff as Adam Morgan joins the lobby. But we shall see what happens with within obviously the BTCC blueprints. It's going to be very interesting, as I say, but yeah, it'll be very interesting. The Porsche Caymans are going to be very interesting this evening, as I say, guys. If you're watching the stream and you want to check out Eldar Sim Racing, that is spelled E-L-D-A-R, then Sim, which is spelled S-I-M, and then Racing, R-A-C-I-N-G. Check us out on Facebook. There is a league and there is a lot of racing leagues to go on. We don't judge how people race. There is racing for everyone, so you can be a complete novice, you can be new to online racing, and there will be a league for each and every one of you guys that want to enter. We do have, of course, on Sunday night with yours truly and myself, Hoppers, doing the Assetto Corsa Competizione, sponsored by Idle for Gaming, which is Darren Baldwin's YouTube channel. we do have them as Brian Ross bins it into turn number 1 there, which is a bit unfortunate. Got Ismail Nemri in the black and the orange Porsche Cayman. At the moment you've got Dan Cope out on track. Dan is new to the series and potentially new to the Caymans. We do have potentially but as I was saying, we do have a race for every single one of you that want to take part. As I say, we have the Porsche Caymans, we have the Mazda MX-5s, we have the British touring cars, we have, as of Mondays, I think as of the 1st of March, Season 2 of the JTCC, which is GR2 cars. I believe GR3 cars, or Japanese GR3 cars, are coming to potentially to the grid, so it's kind of like tier 2, so it's kind of like JT300 in Japanese Super GT terms, if you're familiar with that. That will also be coming, I believe. Well, they're looking for drivers for that. Potentially, I've already said that I do host and I will commentate for the GR3s if it's JTCC on a Monday. We have the beautiful Peugeot 208 GTI Cup, which at the moment is reaching the final rounds of the championship with myself, Hoppers, racing. So I do race, I don't hold back. I'm not always in the commentary box, but yeah, it's very a bit weird. We have the Hammer Games, aka Nick Sargent, doing the commentary for that. That's on Tuesday nights. Wednesday nights, at the moment, we do have the final rounds of the Shell Lawman Mugen Masters. That is hosted by Will Sutters. I believe it's going into a manufacturer-based event next season, where there's going to be potentially quite a few cars on the grid, and it's going to be probably a teams event as well. I'm not too sure how that's going to work, but that's on a Wednesday, so you'll have myself and potentially maybe, depending on how things go, there'll be a commentary from Will as well, but it all depends on certain aspects at the moment. We're still struggling to get drivers for that. And then obviously Thursday at the moment is a rest day, just as we look at Dan Cope get it crossed up out the final turn. I'll just look at Adam Morgan's pink fluorescent highlighter. I don't know what's happened to Timmy, but hopefully we've got 5 minutes till qualifying. But yes, Thursday is normally a rest day, but there is potentially a championship going to be planned for Thursday evening, so whether that goes ahead or not is another thing. Friday you have obviously all three potential big massive nights of racing. Friday is is our massive night of racing, should I say. As I say, you've got the BTCC, you've got us doing the Caymans, you've got Darren Baldwin doing the MX-5s, and you've got host with the most Malcolm Argar doing commentary for the Shell Lawman British touring cars. There's Adam Morgan that's a bit crossed up coming out of the last turn. But yes, it is going to be potentially very exciting. Hopefully we're going to get a few more drivers into the lobby within some time. But hopefully it will be potentially very interesting. But yes, it will be potentially very interesting to see what happens. I do highly rate Eldar Sim for a series. It will be potentially very interesting to see what happens within this evening as we get through into potentially coming up into qualifying very shortly. I've got to be careful on stream tonight because not only am I commentating, but my beloved Wolverhampton Wanderers, yes, I am a Wolves fan, for me sins. We're going to be playing Leeds United, and kick-off is at 8 o'clock, so I've got to be very careful if we score, because or we end up losing, or we end up conceding a goal, because I don't want to get too excited on stream, but I just had to throw that in there just to, you know, you can give me stick all you want, but you know. But no, going back to the racing, it's Eldar Sim. You know, I've been an admin as well as commentator. I started off with Eldar Sim as an admin from day one, since the series got literally got set up by the Hammer Games AK Nick Sargent. You know, I've been an admin since day one of the championship, exactly Eldar Sim Championship go live. So yeah, I've been around for quite some time, been an admin, been a commentator now for Eldar Sim for the last few months, which potentially has been very interesting, and potentially going to be one of them. I believe Aussie Rooster is going to be on his way very shortly. I'm just going to check how many drivers we've actually got. So we've actually got at the moment 11 drivers. I'm not too sure whether Mark Palmer and Aussie Rooster are going to make it on time. I will give them a few moments, but we are due to start qualifying in around 3 minutes time. But as I say, I've been commentating for Eldar Sim for potentially coming up now to I think this is now my 5th month commentating for the leagues. I did a race in the BMW TCC when it was the TCC, so I've had a bit of driving experience within obviously that within that league, and then I just picked up the microphone and did commentary, so yes. But hopefully we're going to get the others in the lobby very shortly. Hopefully we do, but I don't want to be potentially waiting around. I have got racing commitments after this, but hopefully the others will be here in time. So just give me a second, guys. We'll just see if the others are going to make it in time. But if not, then we'll have to go, and they'll have to potentially start at the back of the grid. For race 1, it will be a bit of a shame, but you know, hopefully we should see what goes on. But hopefully we can get near enough a full grid. It's looking likely 12 races, but hopefully we will see what goes on. This evening. So we'll just wait to see. So I'll be back in 1 second. Okay guys, I believe we're just waiting for a few others to come in, but hopefully it shouldn't be too long. But hopefully it should be okay to go, but we are going to be potentially probably going to be about 5, maybe about 6 minutes behind, but you know, it's got to be helped, and believe people have either got in from work or just finished having their tea, so I do understand that, and you know, it's not really a big major issue, to be fair. So hopefully we get some good action and potentially some good amazing racing this evening. So, I believe Mark Palmer may be missing, I'm not too sure, but I'll just drop him a quick message. So I'm going to see, just waiting for potentially to see if he's going to race. But I'm trying to see if Mark is about to race. If not, then we'll go. So I believe we'll get qualifying underway. I'm going to start qualifying, because yes, we are a bit behind time, so we are at least 6 minutes behind time at the moment. Let's see what happens within this evening's qualifying session. Let's make sure everyone gets out of pit lane okay. I know there's a few that like to stay behind just to get a bit of look at them all, what a colourful grid. Yeah, so there's a few that like to stay in pit lane just to potentially make sure that, you know, they avoid the carnage at turn number 1. You've got the likes of Lee Fitzy, I believe Richard Barton's just joined out on track, so it's going to be very interesting. So we do have potentially a very interesting mixture. It is going to be, I believe, at the moment, it will be very interesting, as I say. So Lee Fitzy is the last to join on the outlap, but he will be okay. We're on the outlaps already. As you can imagine, they like to race on the outlaps. Don't know what it is about racing on an outlap, but you know, it should be very interesting and potentially it's going to be very interesting, probably a bit hectic for this evening, because it is going to be tight and twisty as Aussie Rooster goes through Total NASCAR for his first outlap. Or his outlap. We'll go on board with him briefly. He's a very talented racer, as is everyone else, but it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. So at the moment, I believe Timmy will be the one that sets, will be the one that leads them round to start the first of potentially probably 3 flying laps here at the Lago Lake Maggiore. So you've got Dan Cope and Christian Swire potentially battling already in qualifying. So we've got 7.5, coming up to 7.5 minutes to go. So it will be very interesting to see what happens. Dean Atkinson there in his white and green, fluorescent green Porsche Cayman. I'm tipping him for a win this evening after he won at Catalonia in the Shell Lorman Motorsports NSXs during the week. So you got Aussie Rooster there in the pink and blue. Then you got Adam Morgan in the pink highlighter. It's not pink, it's purple. What an idiot I am. But yes, Ismail Nemri in the orange and black. You've got Max Robertson there, Ginger Baxter with his beautiful gingerbread man on the bonnet. There you go. Then you got Panos in 7th place. Then you got Richard Barton, and of course Brian Ross, and of course Lee Fitzy. So at the moment Timmy is going through total NASCAR. At the moment the penalties lines this evening must be taken on the lap you get it before you cross the start finish line, and the timing line at start of the lap when you before you cross the start finish line, and obviously where Timmy is coming up towards now. So going out of potentially GoPro, I believe he's on the verge of going up to the last bit of the lap. Well, no, oh sorry, yeah, my mistake. The timing beam is sort of going to be round as Timmy goes up to 204.6. So the next penalty line is between the latter part. So you got Christian Swire with a 208.7. Dan Cope with a 209.2, Aussie Rooster with a 207.208, and then you've got Adam Morgan with a 205.7, Dean Atkinson with 212.8, Max Robertson with 210.2, Ginger Baxter with 211.7, Panos sets the benchmark with a 203.9. And then obviously Richard Barton with a 209.5, Brian Ross with a 208.9. So there's going to be potentially quite a lot of pushing on. Lee Fitzy up into 2nd place at the moment, splitting Timmy with a 204.3. So you know, advantage does work from pit lane sometimes, but it's going to be potentially very interesting. You've got the likes of Dean Atkinson at the moment, getting probably held up in traffic at the moment. He's struggling in top place at the moment. You've got Ismail Nemri in 13th place at the moment, but anything can happen in these wild races this evening, and it potentially could be very on course for a very interesting evening. You've got Panos there still eking out that advantage for qualifying at the moment into total NASCAR. We have Lee Fitzy still in 2nd place at the moment, potentially doing a stellar job. To see what happens this evening within the racing. So you know, it's going to be very interesting. He's 2nd. You've got Timmy just leading the way at the moment to cross the line. Now is he going to improve? No, he doesn't, which is a bit of a shame. 3.5 minutes to go. You've got Adam Morgan chasing down Aussie Rooster. Scott Drifter with 204.5. Dan Cope with a 206.9. Adam Morgan 5th fastest at the moment with a 205.6. Dean Atkinson with 205.695. Ginger Baxter with 208.3. So that puts Ginger Baxter up into 9th. So there's quite a few interesting times during qualifying. Richard Barton with a 209.4. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Lee Fitzy can do. Brian Ross with 207.5. Lee Fitzy, I believe, didn't improve his time that lap. But at the moment, it's going to be very interesting, very exciting. I believe Ismail Nembri with 2.5 minutes to go. Still in 13th place at the moment. I don't think he's having a good season at the moment. He's feeling a bit like, you know, he's faced in these cars before, but he needs to feel like he's going to push on, hopefully. Obviously, Panos there potentially going through liquid molly at the moment, so it's going to be very interesting to see what he can do. As I say, Lee Fitzy still in 2nd place at the moment, followed by obviously the likes of Christian Swire, who's made his way up into 3rd place at the moment, championship leader. Potentially knows how to, you know, he's obviously 0.9, his personal best in this sector. Anything can happen within this evening's race. It is going to be potentially very interesting. I believe Timmy at the moment is going through the final turn. He's now going to be, is he going to be on course? What's he going to do? Is he, oh, he just misses out. Christian Swire there. Let's see what he can do with 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Christian Swire at the moment leapfrogs Lee Fitzy into 2nd place with a 2:04.037. So the championship leader is on course potentially to see what he can do. Kicks up the dirt going out of turn number 1 there. So I believe Jay Baxter up into 7th for a 2:06.7. So it's going to be very interesting indeed. Adam Morgan coming through. Shot here into, I believe that was going down the hill. Yes, he's looking likely. Dean Atkinson at the moment. Brian Ross with a 2:07.036. Where does that put him? 9th fastest at the moment. Ismail Nemri with a 2:05. 2:05 puts him 5th fastest at the moment with a 2:05.099 with 20 seconds rather to go. So it's going to be potentially very interesting to see what happens. So Ismail actually on a massive charge now. I believe obviously Rooster, who's 11th fastest at the moment, has a penalty, so that's not going to hamper him quite bad. He's got to go through total NASCAR now, but that's going to really hamper him. Got Godgift John, aka Panos, just going through. I believe he's going through total NASCAR. Yes, he has. He got quite a few traffic issues with Lee Fitzy and potentially Brian Ross, and of course I believe that's Richard Barton. Yes, it is, as they go through total NASCAR. Timmy with a 2:04.4, which is putting 4th fastest at the moment. I believe Panos has beat Christian Swire's time. Yeah, so Christian is 2nd, so it's going to be very interesting to see what they can do. Adam Morgan 6th fastest with a 2:05.5. So yes, it's going to be very interesting to see what Jay Baxter can do going through the final turn. He's going to improve. Unfortunately he doesn't, which is a bit of a shame, but he's not 8th fastest at the moment. I believe at the moment some of these guys are still. Lee Fitzy runs wide out of the final turn, clips the grass, clips the wall. That's still gonna. Brian Ross with a 2:06.8 there. So I believe Ismail Nemri Richard Barton comes through as well. And I believe it's going to be very interesting because you've got Panos from Christian, from Lee Fitzy, and of course Timmy. But we are getting ready for the first of the 7-lap races here at Autodromo Lago Maggiore, and it's going to be potentially very interesting indeed. So you've got Panos from Christian, from Timmy, and Lee Fitzy, Ismail, Adam Morgan, Dean, Ginger Baxter, Brian Ross, and Dan Cope. So to get a good view of the lights, I believe God Gift John and Scott Drifter side by side. getting ready for a start now, as who's going to make a good start into turn number 1 here at Lago. This is going to be very interesting to see. Hopefully everyone's got off the grid okay. Yes, they have. Lee Fitzy already under pressure from Timmy going into turn number 1. Ismail Nemri is behind. Oh, there's a spinner there. I believe Dan Cope and Dean Atkinson had a bit of a coming together. We'll see if we can catch that on a replay very quickly. If we can, I believe, yes. Oh, Dan Cope just lets the throttle, just keeps the throttle in, which has pushed Dean Atkinson down into 13th place. But while we're looking at that, God Gives John is trying to escape from Scrap Drifter, followed by Lee Fitzy and Timmy. Timmy is not under pressure at the moment. Ismail Nembri is under pressure from Adam Morgan at the moment. So the pink highlighter mobile is already under pressure with Ismail Nembri ahead of him. You've got Ginger Baxter and Brian Ross potentially 7th and 8th. You've got at the moment Aussie Rooster 9th. Potentially you've got this battle between Richard Barton and Dan Cope going down into Total NASCAR. Dan Cope closes the door on Richard Barton, and then obviously Max Robertson and Dean Atkinson. God Give John already under pressure from Christian Swire as we're about to finish the end of the lap. At the moment it's going to go through GoPro, and is Christian Swire going to make the move? No, he doesn't. He's got Lee Fitzy as well. Timmy is under pressure from Ismail Nemri, potentially for 4th place at the moment. But Adam Morgan with a 5/10 penalty at the moment, that's going to really hurt him. Timmy runs a bit wide, as does Lee Fitzy at the moment. Christian Swire trying to get a move on Panos, potentially going to try and make a move. Christian has the inside line. Panos is also there. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Christian Swire gets into the lead so far, but you've got a battle for potentially the lead between Panos, Christian Swire and of course Lee Fitzy. This could end in tears. It could be almost 3 wide. It could be potentially one of them, Lee Fitzy, Christian Swire, and of course, but Timmy's also there, so it could be potentially 4 cars for the lead of the race. What is going on? What a spectacular. Oh, Panos has lost it going into Mobile, and around he goes like a merry-go-round. He's rejoined in potentially 7th place, make that 8th place because he's lost a place to Ginger Baxter at the moment. Aussie Rooster also there. I believe Lee Fitzy actually benefited. He's got a gap now from Christian Swire, but Ismail Nemri from potentially 5th place on the grid at the moment, potentially on a charge at the moment. He's we thought we lost him then, but he's 3rd at the moment. Timmy is 4th. Oh my goodness gracious, going into Total NASCAR, that's a bit brave. And got Christian Swire putting Lee Fitzy under threat. We'll just go back further field. God Give John struggling after his mistake. He's probably dirtied the tyres. Got Aussie Rooster overtaking him there. Dan Cope and Richard Barton potentially still 10th and 11th. Max Robertson and Dean Atkinson rounding up the field. So far Lee Fitzy has got a 5/10 penalty. That's going to be a bit of a shame. Ismail Nemri all over the back of Christian Swire going into the final turn. This is going to be very interesting indeed. Oh my goodness. Ismail Nemri now takes 2nd place. He's now potentially going to take 1st place into the 1st corner. Oh, is he going to make it stick? No, he isn't, but he's got Timmy behind him. Lee Fitzy 4th, Adam Morgan 5th, followed by Brian Ross, followed by Ginger Baxter and God Give John, and Aussie Rooster and Dan Cope and Richard Barton. Dean Atkinson now has got past Max Robertson for 13th place, but well, 12th place should I say. Scrap Drifter Ismail Nemri after starting potentially 5th place on the grid. you know, he's actually doing very well going into Mobile. He's got Timmy behind him, Lee Fitzy, Adam Morgan, Brian Ross, Ginger Baxter and God Gift John under threat from Aussie Rooster at the moment. But this is going to be very interesting. Dan, 10th. Brian Ross is already up the road, but Richard Barton trying to chase down Dan Cope. Dean Atkinson 12th and Max Robinson 13th. But at the moment you've got this battle between Timmy and Ismail and Lee Fitzy. They're going to try and make it 3 wide into total NASCAR. Oh my god, up and over the hill. Whoa! Lee Fitzy actually gets second place. What a move! Got Ismail third at the moment. Timmy still in 4th place at the moment. Adam Morgan essentially chasing these guys down. Brian Ross 6th. God Gift John. Ginger Baxter in now 8th place, I believe. Panos got overtaked. Ginger Baxter for 8th place. Aussie Rooster 9th. Dan Cope now eking out that gap from Richard Barton, from Dean Atkinson, and of course Max Robertson. But going back to the front of the field already to start lap number 4 out of 7. Championship leader Christian Swire is on a massive. I can't even think what I was going to say. He's on a massive charge this evening. Now he's leading the race. Lee Fitzy from Ismail Nemri, who's under a lot of pressure from Timmy Gill into the first turn. Lee Fitzy covers the line. Ismail there. Adam Morgan 5th. You've got Brian Ross from God Gift John, and then you've got this battle between Ginger Baxter and Aussie Rooster. The 2 blue cars ahead of between each of us. So the gingerbread car versus the pink, purple, should I say, the lilac and blue car. I believe there's been Panos locks up trying to chase after Brian Ross. Jay Baxter still 8th place at the moment, runs a bit wide going out of Mobile, which has allowed Ginger Baxter to drop back from Aussie Rooster. Got Richard Barton and Dean Atkinson potentially battling on, but at the moment going back up to the front pack, got Lee Fitzy trying to chase down Christian Swire. At the moment it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Got Timmy all over the back of Ismail Nemri going into total NASCAR. Timmy tries to make a move. Ismail closes the door, but he gets a bit of a wiggle. Clips the gravel, which has pushed him down into 4th place. Got Brian Ross under threat from Panos for 6th place at the moment. So the purple and sort of mint green coloured Cayman under threat from the Greek. Oh, this is going to be very interesting, but it's going to be close. We're already on lap 4 out of 7 here at Lago. I believe Jay Baxter and Dan Cope. So the rivals from last week are already going to be essentially pushing on. Dean Atkinson up into 11th now. He's got past Richard Barton for 11th place, should I say. But Richard isn't giving up. He's 12th. Max Robertson 13th. So Timmy and Lee Fitzy are now trying to chase after Christian Swire at the moment. Ismail Nemri 4th, followed by Adam Morgan. As Panos has finally got past Brian Ross for 6th place. Aussie Rooster eking out that gap. At the moment, Ginger Baxter, who's under considerable threat from Dan Cope, as Ginger runs a bit wide going out of that turn there, heading down the hill down towards Mobile, which is going to be very interesting. Ginger Baxter has to defend from Dan Cope there. Dan Cope pushes the door. Dean Atkinson also makes the move stick because of Ginger going a bit wide. So Dan Cope, excuse me, as a sneeze on stream. Dan Cope up into 9th. Dean Atkinson now 10th. Ginger Baxter 11th. Richard Barton 12th. Max Robertson 12th. Scrap Drifter at the moment controlling the race with fastest lap as well with a 2:04.6 at the moment, leading the race on lap number 5 at the moment. Timmy from Ismail Nemri. I believe Max Robertson's internet has conked out, which is a bit of a shame. So he will be, unfortunately, at the back of the grid for race 2 if he decides to come back. But you've got Brian Ross 7th, Aussie Rooster now in 8th place, Dan and Dean Atkinson for 9th and 10th at the moment. Jay Baxter 11th and Richard Barton 12th. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Dean Atkinson and Dan Cope. Got Panos on a massive charge trying to catch up to Adam Morgan, but going back to the front as we start putting some lap of the race. You've got Timmy Gill already all over the back of Lee Fitzy there. This is going to be very interesting. Can't believe what I am seeing so far. The races have actually been technically okay, but you know, you've got Lee Fitzy trying to get away from Timmy at the moment. So the pink car, which is 13 shot at the moment, going through Mobile, is trying to latch on to the back of Lee Fitzy. Got Ismail Nemri 4th place, Adam Morgan 5th, then you've got Panos 6th, then you've got Brian Ross 7th, Aussie Rooster 8th, Dan Cope and Dean Atkinson still trying to have this battle raging on. Dan Cope 9th, Dean Atkinson 10th, and then Ginger Baxter also trying to join in the party. I believe Jay's up and flashed his lights just saying, you know, come on guys, don't squabble, I want, you know, I'll make a move, I'll make a pass. But Dean's going to try and make a move on Dan Cope going down into Total NASCAR at the moment, side by side at the moment, going down the hill. Dean Atkinson and Dan Cope. Oh, Dean Atkinson gets the move done, fantastic. I believe Richard Barton 12th at the moment, but going back, as you can see, Timmy's already up, oh, side by side, just as we join the battle. Lee Fitzy and of course Timmy are battling for 2nd place, so you know, they're both going to finish on the podium whatever happens. But you've got Ismail Nemri coming under bits of threat now from Adam Morgan, and you've got Panos there trying to make exactly the same amount of move as we go on to the final lap. Timmy at the moment still in 2nd place, but Aussie Rooster with a penalty. Dean Atkinson up into 9th, I believe that happened with Dan Cope and of course Ginger Baxter. Whoa, that was a bit unfortunate. I believe Aussie Rooster was not in the way, but I think he was a bit sort of one of them. But we've got Dan Cope potentially trying to chase down Aussie Rooster and Dean Atkinson. At the moment it's going to be very heated debate going down towards Mobile, but it is going to be very interesting. Richard Barton at the moment at the back of the field, but I believe Lee Fitzy has got past Timmy. Yes, he has. God Gift John has got past Ismail Nemri, as Adam Morgan gets the move done as well as we just join that battle. Dan Cope, I believe, I don't know what's happened to Aussie Rooster. Let's have a look. Can we catch it on replay? Oh, it just gets it, it just launches it off the ground, going out of Mobile there. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. That has pushed him down to 12th place at the moment. Lee Fitzy and Timmy are battling. Adam Morgan, of course, God Gift John are battling for 4th place at the moment. Ismail Nemri's also there. Oh, Brian Ross gets it closed up. I will just see what happens to Brian very quickly going into NASCAR. Oh, just clips the curb. Just clips the curb, which he's still 7th. Ginger Baxter and Dan Cope at the moment still battling the guy Nemesis, but I don't know what exactly has happened, but you know, but I believe Dean Atkinson comes home 8th, Brian Ross in 7th. Adam Morgan 5th, I believe. Panos takes 7th, 4th, so to say. Timmy 3rd. Aussie Rooster in 12th place. I believe he's not happy at the moment. I will try and see exactly what went on later on, but we're going to have to potentially set the grid for race number 2 because Max Robertson has jumped into the lobby. So we're going to have to set up the grid. I do apologise for any incidents I've missed. I'm just going to potentially see what's going on. But yes, I'll just bear with me 1 second, guys. I'm going to replay and I'll get the race results just ready for. I'm going to have to do the grid because Max Robertson joined the lobby just after he disconnected. So give me 1 second. So I will go through the results as well as set up the grid. Just give me a second, guys, while I sort out the grid. Okay guys, I'll go through round number 7's results and then we'll get going for race number 2. So the first place was none other than Christian Swire, with obviously lights to flag victory after taking a good start. Then you had Lee Fitzy coming back from potentially a bit of a dodgy start, but he came second, followed by Timmy from God Give John, followed by Adam Morgan, then Ismail Nimri. He came to an absolute, you know, he did okay to finish 6th, and potentially going to be very interesting to see what happens. Potentially going to be seeing what happens within the lobby this time round. Got Brian Ross finished 7th from Dean Atkinson and Ginger Baxter. Dan Cope 10th. Richard Barton 11th, and Aussie Rooster. I believe there's been a bit of an issue between a few of the drivers, but hopefully it'll be more cleaner this time round. Christian Swire got the fastest lap on lap number 4 with a 2 minutes 4:06. As I say, it is going to be very interesting as we are getting ready for the second race of the evening. So let's see what happens for now. Hopefully I've got everyone ready and we shall get going. So let's go. So let's see what happens in the second race of the evening. Potentially but Aussie Rooster from Richard Barton and Dan Cope are the top 3. Ginger Baxter and of course Dean Atkinson, and of course Brian Ross, Ismail Nimri, Adam Morgan, Panos, and of course Timmy and Lee Fitzy, and then of course Scrap Drifter and Max Robertson, after his Porsche Cayman decided to blow a spark plug out of the engine. So we'll see what happens. We're getting the 4 lights. The green light is about to come on now. Who's going to get a good start into turn number 1? This is round number 8 of the Eldar BTCC Blueprints Porsche Supercup live and exclusive from Lago on the GP circuit. You've got Aussie Rooster so far making a good start. Dan Cope into 3rd place at the moment. Well, this is going to be potentially very interesting to see what happens. I believe Dean Atkinson and Ginger Baxter are still there. Brian Ross, Ismail Nimri gets a decent move. Adam Morgan and Ismail Nimri have a bit of contact. I don't know whether that was intentional. I think it's because Ismail got a bit sideways. But I believe at the moment Scrap just at 12th at the moment, and Max Robertson up into the lead, right into 13th still. Richard Barton in 12th from Dan Cope, potentially 3rd at the moment. Ginger Baxter holding on to 4th place at the moment, as we see there's a bit of battle further afield. Ismail Nimri in 7th, followed by Panos, and of course Adam Morgan. Lee Fitzy 10th from Timmy and Scrap Drifter at the moment. But going back to this battle between Richard Barton and of course Dan Cope going down into Total NASCAR. Aussie Rooster straight away leading the race. Dan Cope gets the move done into 2nd place, but Richard Barton fights back nearly. So it's going to be potentially very interesting. You've got Dean Atkinson 4th, Ginger Baxter 5th, Brian Ross 6th, Ismail Nimri under pressure from Panos at the moment for 7th place at the moment. You got Lee Fitzy and of course Adam Morgan in 9th and 10th. Timmy 11th, followed by Scrap Drifter in 12th place at the moment. Well, it's getting a bit fraught towards the back of the field. Adam Morgan with 5-10th penalty. Max Robertson at the moment struggling at the moment. He's going to pick up Aussie Rooster there in potentially leading the race at the moment. He's doing a fantastic job from pole position at the moment. We've got Dan Cope in second place at the moment, Richard Barton third, Dean Atkinson after his race win in the NSXs on Wednesday. He's going to want more. He's going to want more. You've got Ginger Baxter under threat from Brian Ross at the moment, Ismail Nemri and of course Panos battling for 7th and 8th, followed by Lee Fitzy and of course Timmy. Oh, ho, ho, ho. It's going to be three wide going down the hill. This is going to be potentially very interesting. I believe there's another battle up front, Richard Barton and Ginger Baxter and of course Brian Ross. Lee Fitzy leapfrogs God Give John and of course Ismail Nemri. Scrap Drifter aka Christian Swire 11th, Adam Morgan 12th now. Max Robertson still suffering. I believe his car's having a bit of a misfire at the moment. Aussie Rooster leading the race, Dean Atkinson and of course Dan Cope for second and third at the moment. This is going to be very interesting. You've got Ginger Baxter 4th now because I believe Brian Ross, and they're trying to make it three wide going down the hill into NASCAR. Oh, Ginger Baxter, where's it? Oh, he's there into third place. Dean Atkinson 4th at the moment. Oh, they're going to make it three wide. Yes, they. Oh my days. You've got Ginger Baxter and Dean Atkinson tucking behind, or tucking in front of Dan Cope there. We'll see what's going on further back in the moment. Dean Atkinson gets a bit of a tap from Dan Cope, but Dan Cope is all over the shots with potentially trying to hold off Ginger Baxter at the moment. I believe Dean Atkinson has a bit of a penalty. Brian Ross is trying to make it move as well. He's trying to make it three wide. Oh my god, there's a gaggle of cars. I can't look. This is going to be fantastic. What's going to happen? Oh, there's a gaggle of cars now. Oh my goodness gracious. Who's going to break? Whoa! Constantine of cars. You've got Ginger Baxter already in second place. Aussie Rooster must be laughing with these guys battling behind. What is going to happen here? Lee Fitzy potentially on the charge. Dan Cope already. Oh, see this. Jay Baxter dropped down to 4th place now. This is not going to end in well. You know, we've got a gaggle of cars. Max Robertson already at the tail of the field. But look at this. Adam Morgan from Ismail Nemri gets a bit crossed up there. Adam Morgan and Timmy and of course Ismail Nemri. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Dean Atkinson, Scrap Drifter. Sorry guys, but you know this is actually going to be really interesting. You've got God Give John potentially 5th place at the moment. Ginger Baxter trying to gain up to the back of Dan Cope at the moment. Aussie Rooster will be laughing in that helmet of his because he's leading the race at the moment. Dan Cope second, followed by Ginger Baxter and Brian Ross. This is going to be very interesting. Ginger Baxter clips the curb, but he keeps it together. Brian Ross is already getting alongside him for 3rd place at the moment. Panos there 5th, followed by... Oh, he's going to make it three wide. Oh, Max Robertson's car's just had a bit of an issue this evening. Oh, this is going to be fantastic stuff. Ginger Baxter already trying to keep up with the top... between 4th and 5th at the moment. Lee Fitzy there as well. You've got Scott Drifter 7th, Adam Morgan 8th, Timmy with a penalty at the moment. Richard Barton also. Ismail Nemri 9th, Dean Atkinson 12th. Aussie Rooster leading the race at the moment. Dan Cope under threat from God Give John going into turn number 1. It is going to be potentially very interesting. I can't believe what I'm seeing, but I'll tell you this, it is going to be pretty much interesting coming to the final 3 laps of the race. Oh my goodness. We've got a pile of cars potentially now going to be piling on a lot of pressure to Dan Cope in second place. Aussie Rooster with a 4.6 second gap. Aussie Rooster brave to go on the inside into Mobile, but Dan Cope is slowly but leaning. But oh my goodness, Got Lee Fitzy as well. It is going to be potentially very interesting. Dan Cope down into 4th, Lee Fitzy now 3rd. Brian Ross in 5th place from Scrap Drifter. And of course Adam Morgan and Ismail Nemri. This is going to be proper interesting to see what happens. Brian Ross and of course Scrap Drifter and Adam Morgan. Oh my goodness, 3 cars, maybe 2 cars, maybe 4 cars. Brian Ross. What's going to happen here, guys? Oh my goodness. Scrap Drifter 7th at the moment. Ginger Baxter now 8th. Ismail Nemri at the moment in 9th, followed by Dean Atkinson and of course Timmy battling out as well. Richard Barton in 12th at the moment. You've got God Gift John essentially now 2nd from Lee Fitzy. Dan Cope 4th. Christian Swire now 5th after making a move on Brian Ross. Adam Morgan tries exactly the same, going out to the final turn at the moment. Potentially going to be pushing on. This is going to be very interesting, as I say. But we got Lee Fitzy and God Gift John battling for 2nd and 3rd, while Aussie Rooster Andrew Ostler eking out that gap. The gap's closed down a bit, but you know he's doing a fantastic job. Dan Cope 4th at the moment. Christian Swire, championship leader, potentially going to be very interesting to see what happens. But you've got Brian Ross 6th, Adam Morgan 7th, Ismail Nemri with a 5/10 penalty. At the moment, Adam Morgan makes a move on Brian Ross for 6th place. Dan Cope now 5th because his Scrap Drifter's got past him. As we just saw the end of that. Ismail Nemri, followed by Timmy, followed by Dean Atkinson and Ginger Baxter. Richard Barton 12th. But I'm more concerned about what's going on. Ismail Nemri and Brian Ross having a bit of a ding-dong battle going down towards NASCAR. Ismail is somewhere, there he is. We've got Brian Ross there and Adam Morgan. Oh, this is going to be very interesting. Brian Ross, I believe Panos has got past Lee Fitzy for 2nd. Yes, he has. Scrap Drifter also trying to join the party. Brian Ross and Adam Morgan still battling away. Got Timmy and of course Dean Atkinson and Ginger Baxter. I believe Ismail lost a bit of time by taking his penalty. Richard Barton 12th. Aussie Rooster still eking out that lead. He's got 2.0 second lead ahead of Panos there. Lee Fitzy also on a massive charge. Dan Cope there in 5th place. At the moment, anything can happen within this race. Adam Morgan 6th. 6th place from Brian Ross, from Timmy, followed by Dean Atkinson, Ginger Baxter and Ismail Nemri, the guys from last season. And I believe Richard Barton is now 12th. Aussie Rooster's lead is potentially down to 1.4 seconds. He's on the penultimate lap of the race at the moment now. As I say, anything can happen, but it's going to be very interesting. Scrap Drifter there trying to make a move on Panos for 3rd place at the moment. Dean Atkinson is lurking in the background of this battle, but you've got Timmy and of course Brian Ross essentially under a lot of pressure at the moment. But you know, it's going to be very interesting. Timmy gives him a bit of a hip and a shoulder, should I say. Excuse me. But yes, you've got Dan Cope 5th place, under pressure from Adam Morgan at the moment. Scrap Drifter is going to be put in Panos and of course Lee Fitzy under a lot of pressure. Panos is going to make a move into Total NASCAR. Yes, he is. Lee Fitzy's also there. Oh, gives him a love tap, gives him a bit of a kiss on the way out. But Aussie Rooster, oh, Panos who's lost 2 places going out of Total NASCAR there. Oh, this is fantastic. Timmy up into 5th from, I believe, what's happened to Dan Cope though? What happened to Dan Cope? Are we allowed to go back that far? Let's have a look. I don't know, it seems to be a bit Aussie Rooster, aka Andrew Osler, he's doing a very good job, even though Lee Fitzie's going to gain him. Scrap Drifter and Panos are having a bit of a battle. These two had a bit of a battle in the JTCC recently, but you know, this is going to be fantastic going on to the final lap. Timmy 5th, Brian Ross now still 6th, Adam Morgan in 7th, and obviously Dean Atkinson. But that's going to be potentially, no, Adam Morgan's 8th, sorry, but he's actually made a move just as I say that into 7th place. Ismail Nemri. Also the bright coloured cars are having a bit of a battle. The highlighted cars are having a bit of a battle, should I say. Got Ginger Baxter and Dan Cope 10th and 11th. Richard Barton. Now God Give John got past Christian Swire. Potentially Lee Fitzie's now caught up to Aussie Rooster. The Rooster's going to be under threat. But is he going to keep it together? It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Hopefully it should be a good battle to the end. But it will be potentially one of them. Ginger Baxter. I don't know whether him and Dan had a bit of an issue. Let's see. Or has he just lost it? Oh, he's lost it. He's lost it. But going back to the battle at the front at the moment, it's a bit of a battle between Panos and, I believe, oh, there's a change for the lead on the final lap. Lee Fitzy gets past Aussie Rooster as Christian Swire loses a bit of momentum to Panos. Aussie Rooster retakes the lead. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Aussie Rooster retakes the lead. Lee Fitzy is also there. Oh, Aussie Rooster clips the wall. Lee Fitzy's also going to get the lead. Oh my goodness. Lee Fitzy going in towards the final turn. Aussie Rooster, Christian Swire and God Gift John. Oh, I feel sorry for Aussie. Oh mate, oh, I feel sorry for you. But Lee Fitzy's going to come through and take a win. Another win in the Porsche Caymans. He's going to come through and take round number 8 of the BTCC Blueprints Porsche Cayman Supercup. Christian Swire takes 3rd from Aussie Rooster, God Gift John, and takes 2nd, Aussie Rooster 4th, Timmy from 5th, Brian Ross 7th, Adam Morgan 7th from Ismail Nemri, from Dean Atkinson and Dan Cope, Ginger Baxter, and of course Richard Barton. But it is going to be potentially very exciting to see what happens in race number 3. So, get the results. Let's see what happens. Okay guys, we'll be getting race number 3, so round number 9, underway very shortly. It will be very exciting because we have the likes of, I believe Lee Fitzy will start on pole position. Yes, he will. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens within this time out, but you know, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Excuse me. So it is going to be very interesting. Lee Fitzy from grid's wrong. I do apologise, that was my fault. I must have obviously forgot, but hopefully everyone is ready. Let's try again, take 2. But yeah, never mind, we all make mistakes, but you know, it should be better this time. I realised as soon as I so hopefully it should work this time. So let's see what happens here at round number 9 of the BTCC Blueprints Porsche Cayman Supercup. That's better. I can't believe I did that, but it's a rookie mistake. But you know, won't be the first time, and it won't be the last. You got Lee Fitzy from God Gives John, followed by Scrap Drifter and Aussie Rooster. And you got Timmy, Brian Ross, Adam Morgan and Ismail Nemri. I've got Dan Cope and Jay Baxter, and of course Richard Bolton. I believe at the moment the fast start from, I believe, God Gives John, and of course Lee Fitzy lead the way at the moment. I believe Dan Cope is in 10th place at the moment. Richard Bolton is at the back with Brian Ross 11th at the moment, so it's going to be very interesting. Dean Atkinson on a massive charge already, trying to overtake. He's had a bit of an issue there. What's happened? Can we catch it quickly? I believe he had a bit of an issue. There's a bit of Aussie Rooster, and again Adam Morgan falls to the back of the field at the moment. Dan Cope into 6th place at the moment. I don't know what's happened to these guys, but you know, Dan Cope already into potentially 6th place at the moment. You've got Panos in 4th. I think he lost a bit of ground from Christian Swire, and of course Timmy Ginger Baxter 5th from Dan Cope, and of course Brian Ross. Oh, it's a bit of battles, good lord, at the back. Richard Barton, and of course Ismail Nemri, and of course Aussie Rooster Dean Atkinson. Oh, these guys are going to try and make it 3 wide, potentially 4 wide. Oh, Richard Barton closes the door, slams the brakes on. It's going to be very interesting. Brian Ross up into 6th place from Dan Cope at the moment. Dan Cope 7th, Ginger Baxter 7th. Not Ginger Baxter, Dan Cope 7th at the moment. It'll be very interesting. We'll see what goes on at the moment. Aussie Rooster 8th, Dean Atkinson essentially 9th, Richard Barton 10th, Ismail Nemri 11th at the moment. This is going to be very interesting. Adam Morgan 12th. God give John 2nd. What he hops, skips and jumps on the grass. Christian Swire had a penalty which is allowed. Potentially Ginger Baxter probably will get 4th place now. Yes, he does. Christian Swire probably will take the place back now. Fair play. But Dan Cope now 6th place. Brian Ross 7th. Dean Atkinson and Aussie Rooster 8th and 9th. Ismail Nemri also alongside Aussie Rooster at the time, but Aussie Rooster is now 10th. He's going to be 10th. But he's, Dan Cope now is 7th. So Brian Ross is now 6th. Jay Baxter is 5th. Christian Swire chasing after God Gift John for 3rd place at the moment. Timmy trying to chase down Lee Fitzy. It's going to be very interesting. We'll see what's happening for Dean Atkinson and Ismail Nemri and Aussie Rooster. And 8th, 9th and 10th Richard Barton, 11th Adam Morgan, having a bit of a nightmare at the moment. It's not been Adam's night, you know. Christian Swire in 5th place. Brian Ross in 6th place, under pressure from Dan Cope, Dean Atkinson, and of course Aussie Rooster. Richard Barton has got past Ismail Nemri, but Ismail drops to the rear of the field. I don't know whether he's had an issue. But Jay Baxter there, 5th place at the moment. He's on course for his best result of the season. Got Brian Ross 6th, Dan Cope 7th, Dean Atkinson 8th, and Aussie Rooster and Richard Barton, Adam Morgan 11th now, and Ismail Nemri in potentially now. God Gift John in 3rd place at the moment. Jay Baxter runs a bit wide. Brian Ross there. Not really many battles at the moment, but we'll see what comes on throughout the race. Jay Baxter with a bit of a penalty. That's a bit unfortunate. He runs a bit wide going out the final turn. Oh, that's going to hurt him. That is really going to hurt him. Oh, that's going to really hurt him now. Dan Cope into 6th place now. From potentially now going to push on to Brian Ross. Dean Atkinson is got on the boot lid of Jay Baxter there for potentially 8th, 7th place at the moment. But as I say, anything could happen in this race. Sorry, the yawning down the front here. Dean Atkinson putting Ginger Baxter under pressure for 7th place. Ginger Baxter thinks about heading into 7th place, going out of Mobile, which he does, I believe. You know, it's going to be very interesting. Brian Ross from Dan Cope at the moment. God Gift John trying to eke out that advantage from Scott Drifter. You've got Timmy, I believe he's 2.2 seconds from Lee Fitzy at the moment. So Ginger Baxter still putting up a good fight to Dean Atkinson, going up and over the hill towards Total NASCAR. This is going to be very interesting. Adam Morgan potentially 11th. Ismail Nemri trying to catch up to these guys at the moment. So you got Timmy from God Gift John, and of course Lee Fitzy leading the race. Christian Swire 4th. Dan Cope at the moment potentially still in 6th. You got Dean Atkinson and Jake Baxter still battling for 7th and 8th. This is a proper decent battle going into Toyo tyres. It's going to be probably most amazing to see what happens very shortly. So you've got Jay Baxter there, you've got Aussie Rooster 9th, Adam Morgan and Richard Barton 9th, 10th and 11th. Ismail Memory trying to push on to the back of this group, but I believe Brian Ross has got a bit of an advantage now from Dan Cope and of course Dean Atkinson. Dean Atkinson on a massive charge trying to take Dan Cope there into the first turn for 6th place at the moment. It's going to be pretty much interesting to see what happens as we head into the latter part of the race. We're on lap 4 out of 7. So you've got Aussie Rooster and Adam Morgan now battling. Richard Barton runs a bit wide. We'll just see that. Ismail Nemri also there, but it's going to potentially be very interesting. You've got Aussie Rooster and Adam Morgan for 9th and 10th now. Ginger Baxter trying to chase down Dean Atkinson. Dean Atkinson at the moment trying to chase up to Dan Cope. You've got Timmy trying to chase down Lee Fitzy. God Gift John still 3rd, and obviously Scott Drifter and of course Brian Ross. But Aussie Rooster is under a lot of threat from Adam Morgan going up and over the hill for potentially going down towards Total NASCAR. This is going to be very interesting. Adam Morgan gets 9th place at the moment from Aussie Rooster. Richard Barton under threat from Ismail Nemri now. So it's going to be very interesting. I believe Ismail's trying to make amends throughout the race. I believe at the moment Dean Atkinson. Dean's got up to the back of Dan Cope, as we can see here. But it's going to be pretty much very interesting to see what happens. Ginger Baxter trying to chase the guys down in front. Adam Morgan now 9th, Aussie Rooster 10th, Ismail Nemri 11th, and Richard Barton. They're having a bit of a battle for last place at the moment, but as Richard Barton overtakes Ismail for 11th place at the moment. But I believe Scott Drifter and God Gift John are a bit far behind. Dean Atkinson and of course Dan Cope are battling for 6th and 7th. Dean gets alongside Dan for 6th place at the moment. Dan closes the door. Bit of a door rubbing there going over down the hill. But you've got Ginger Baxter in the background potentially pushing on. But we go into mobile. Dean Atkinson trying to close the door on Dan Cope there. Dan Cope leans on Dean Atkinson going up and over the rise, heading towards I believe he's heading towards GoPro, I think that was. You've got Dan Cope 7th. Ginger Baxter under pressure from Adam Morgan at the moment under the Liquid Moly Bridge. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. Ginger Baxter won't like that. Adam Morgan picks up a penalty for that. But Dan Cope trying to put Dean Atkinson under a lot of threat. He does. Dean Atkinson gets to switch back. It's a bit rough and tumble there going out of Total NASCAR. Aussie Rooster now 8th from Ginger Baxter. Adam Morgan in 7th place at the moment. Let's watch how this battle unfolds at the moment. It's going to be very interesting because Dean Atkinson will have the line. Adam Morgan gets past Aussie Rooster and of course Ginger Baxter, but he's got a bit of a penalty. Oh mate, he's lost a bit of ground now. So Ginger Baxter and of course Aussie Rooster are battling for 8th and 9th. Got Dean Atkinson and Dan Cope potentially battling for 6th and 7th. But at the moment it looks like a door banging bash battle, shall I say. But it's going to be very interesting. We'll keep an eye on what these guys are doing at the moment, as we see just going back to Aussie Rooster and Ginger Baxter, Adam Morgan 10th. So it is going to be very interesting. We're on the penultimate lap of the race at the moment. Dan Cope there 7th, Dean Atkinson chasing him down, so the green and white car there, it's second in frame. It's potentially trying to catch up to Dan Cope at the moment, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Adam Morgan slowly but surely catching up to Jay Baxter, and you've still got this battle between Ismail Nemri and of course Richard Barton. But I'm going to see what is happening. Dean Atkinson under a lot, putting potentially Dan Cope under a lot of pressure going into Total NASCAR. Dan Cope runs a bit deep going out to Total NASCAR. Oh. But, you know, this is going to be very interesting. But Dean Atkinson there, 6th place at the moment. Aussie Rooster and Ginger Baxter. And of course, Adam Morgan, Ismail Nemri and Richard Barton still battling, but they're not near. Lee Fitzy at the moment is on course to win another race from Timmy, and of course, Panos, Christian Swire 4th. Dean Atkinson and Dan Cope are still battling for 6th and 7th place at the moment. You've got Aussie Rooster still in 8th place, Adam Morgan trying to chase down Ginger Baxter at the moment from 9th place, Richard Barton and of course Ismail Nemri for 11th and 12th at the moment. So Lee Fitzy on course for another win, but you've got Dean Atkinson and of course Dan Cope potentially battling for 6th and 7th at the moment. They're still battling, battles galore between these two. I believe Ginger Baxter's under threat from Adam Morgan at the moment. Yes he is. Ginger Baxter runs wide. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. Hops, skips and jumps to grass. Rejoins in front of Adam Morgan, but Adam Morgan gets to place. I believe Dean Atkinson and Dan Cope are still battling. Ginger Baxter's had a bit, I think he's a bit, car's a bit broken. Ismail Nemri and of course Richard Barton are still battling. Look at this is fantastic between these two. But we'll try and go back to their battle in a moment. Dean Atkinson eking out that gap from Dan Cope at the moment. But you've got Ismail Nemri and of course Richard Barton. These two are having a fantastic ding-dong battle at the rear of the field. So the 777 car at the moment under pressure from Richard Barton, but Lee Fitzy doing a fantastic job. We got Dean Atkinson there still in 6th place. Got Aussie Rooster under threat from Adam Morgan at the moment. That's going to be potentially very interesting. Which it is. Yes, Adam Morgan makes the move. Congratulations to obviously Lee Fitzy taking out another win from Timmy. And God gives John. Scott Drifter 4th. Brian Ross will come home in 5th. Dean Atkinson 6th. Dan Cope 7th. Adam Morgan will come home 8th from Aussie Rooster. Ginger Baxter 10th. Richard Barton finally got past Ismail Nemri for 11th place. But I tell you what, Richard Barton has a penalty. Is not going to, it probably will count against his time there. But you know, it won't really matter too much, I don't think. Ismail Nemri comes home in 12th. But that was a bit interesting, a bit battles galore. But you know, it's going to be very interesting because I believe there's been a bit of contact and a bit of argy-bargy. But Lee Fitzy takes out another astounding race of the evening to take a double victory this evening, and it will be potentially very interesting to see what happens going into next week's battle at Tokyo. Excuse me. And as I say, anything can happen. and potentially going to be very interesting. As I say, Lee Fitzey takes out another win from Timmy and Godgift John. Scott Drifter takes 4th place from Brian Ross ahead of Dean Atkinson and Dan Cope. Adam Morgan 8th, Aussie Rooster 9th, Ginger Baxter 10th, Richard Barton 12th, and Ismail Nemri at the back of the fields. Godgift John got the fastest lap on number 4 with a 2:42.66. But yes, it is going to be very interesting to see what happens. But hopefully next week will be very interesting. I can't wait to see what happens within when we go to Tokyo. We're on the South Outer Loop, and it's going to be very tight and it's going to be very close because the walls are inches. So I've been Hoppers, and until next week, guys, I will see you then, and have a good week and take care and stay safe. So bye for now. Ta-ra.